give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio 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 desimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Siva gedola, lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio desimcha. Someone smile. The reason someone smile. The reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone smiles. Be the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smiles. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio lio desimcha. Siva gedola, lio desimcha. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, give a smile. Give a schmeichel, give a schmeichel, be the reason someone smile. Give a smile, give a smile, give a smile, give a smile. Give a smile, give a smile. Be the reason someone smiles. Simba, gedola, liyo, liyo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, liyo, liyo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, liyo, liyo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, liyo, besimcha. Simba, gedola, liyo, 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 besimcha. Be the reason someone smiles. 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 Simba gedola, liyo besimcha. Simba gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Simba gedola, liyo liyo besimcha. Simba gedola, liyo besimcha. Someone smile. Be the reason someone smile. Be the reason someone smile.
Breakfast with Ellie.
מודה אני לפניך, מלך חי וקיים שהחזרת בי, נשמתי בחמלה רבה אמונתך.
For Chanukah, that every day you must add something. The first day you are saying three blessings, and nevertheless, the day after that, immediately you are adding an additional candle. That will be so all the year around.
Good morning and welcome to Breakfast with Ellie. It is Tuesday, Yom Shukul Kislev, the day that Hashem says twice, it is good. The 12th day of December, the 29th and last day of the Hebrew month of Kislev. Tonight is Rosh Chodesh. The Torah portion is Mikeitz. HaYom, Yom Shlishi, the Shabbos, the third day, counting up towards Shabbos, and we'll be learning the third Aliyah and Chanukah, Day 5. I know it's going quickly. You better grab it before it's gone. Excuse me. All right, let's move on so I can get some coffee in me. All right? First of all, let us make the bracha on tzitzit.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al mitzvat tzitzit.
All right. I am so sorry. Excuse me. All right. Al divrei Torah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu al divrei Torah.
All right. Fantastic. All right. Why isn't this working? All right. I love it. Hareini Mekabel.
הריני מקבל עלי מצוות עשה של ואהבת לרעך כמוך. I take upon myself every single day to love my fellow friend in a very special way.
All right. Torah Tziva. All right. Something's wrong here. Got to wait till the computer catches up.
Ay Torah ציווה לנו משה מורשה קהילת יעקב. תורה ציווה לנו משה מורשה קהילת יעקב.
All right. And now it is time to give tzedakah.
I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki for someone else to keep. Yeah, I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki, the tzedakah box. I put it in the pushki for someone else in need.
Good job. All right, and that takes us to the Shema. Are you ready? Here we go. All right, and finally we are to breakfast here. Are you ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehakol nihiyah bidvaroi.
Coffee, blessed coffee. God bless you for being a friend. When the whole world turns on me, it's only you on which I can depend. I want to taste you in the morning and a few times throughout the day. Yes, a cup or two in the evening too. For me, it's the only way.
All right, and that takes us to today in Jewish history. All right, hold on one second. All right, here we go. The fifth day of Chanukah, there were Talmidim, students of Reb Zechariah of Kiev, and they were burned at the stake in Moscow in 1503 on charges of Judaizing. That's terrible. The Jews of Tel Aviv were expelled by the Turks and sent to Egypt in the year 1914. And Adolf Hitler, Yamach Shemai, became the supreme commander-in-chief of the German army on this day in 1941. It is the yahrzeit of Reb Chizkiah de Silva. He was born in Italy and at the age of 19 traveled to Jerusalem, where he studied under Rabbi Moshe Galante. He authored the Pri Chadash, a classical commentary on the Code of Jewish Law, and Mayim Chaim. He passed away on the 29th day of Kislev, 5th day of Chanukah, at the age of 39. He is buried on Har HaZeisim, Mount of Olives, in Jerusalem. Wow. On the 29th day of Kislev, in the year 3622 from creation, the Maccabees, the 25th day of Kislev, the Maccabees liberated the Holy Temple in Jerusalem, and they lit the menorah. That is the 5th day of Chanukah. 2 years after the Baal HaTanya, the Alter Rebbe, his previous arrest and liberation, he was arrested a second time, again on charges that his teachings were undermining the imperial authority of the Tsar. He was released on this date, and Lubavitcher Hasidim marked this date as a Yom Tov. It happened in 1800. I know, right? Tonight, you light 6 candles. All right. It's going away. It's going away. After 4:28 p.m., okay? After 4:28 p.m. There was a problem in Williamsburg. A hoodlum stole a shtreimel off of a Jewish person. Now, Hasidim only wear the shtreimel for Shabbos and Yom Tov and for special days. During the week they don't. When they go to a wedding, they do. But for Chanukah, we wear a shtreimel, or those who wear a shtreimel wear a shtreimel. And we have video of the whole incident. I don't know where that is. Let me get it and pop it in, because I do have it right here or somewhere. Here we go. Oh no. That's pretty terrible. All right, but we did get the guy. Hold on. There you go. They did get the guy. Hours of relentless hard work. He was apprehended by the New York Hate Crimes Group, and the shtreimel, as you can see, was recovered. I know. That is awesome, awesome news. All right. We have some updated guidance from the CDC.
Get your updated COVID and flu vaccines and your RSV vaccine if you're over 60. It's not too late to get vaccinated if you haven't already. And use additional layers of protection, like avoiding people who are sick, washing your hands, improving ventilation, and wearing a mask. And if you do get sick, I know it's hard, but stay home so you don't spread germs to others. And get tested so you know what you have and you can get treatment.
Makes perfect sense, right? All right. HaYom Yom for today, the last day of Kislev.
היום הזה הוא זמן שמחתנו.
So who is the Hasidic hero, the brilliant scholar who studied bookshelves, all of the printed hundreds of printed works of Hasidic teachings, or the simple soldier? Well, it depends. There's times when you need to act like a genius, and there's times when you just need to be a simple, obedient soldier. Today's HaYom is talking about the Hasidic custom instituted by the previous Rebbe, Rabbi Yosef Yitzchak. The tradition that on Shabbos Mevorchim, the Shabbos prior to the new Jewish month, we gather together at shul on Shabbos morning, and we recite the entire Tehillim as a congregation together. And then only after finishing the Tehillim do we proceed to davening. So says the HaYom, we cannot adequately describe the great merit of those who participate in the sacred avodah of saying Tehillim with a minyan, and the great pleasure that this avodah causes on high. How fortunate are you, Israel, and for this may you all be blessed with proper health and with superabundant livelihood, you, your wives, your sons, and your daughters. In your merit, may all the congregation of Israel in your communities be helped in all they need, materially and spiritually.
Absolutely beautiful. And now a word from our sponsors.
And now, a word from our sponsors. PestProRidol.com.
PestProRidol.com. Trusted by the best to keep away the pests. We are offering COVID-19 disinfection services. Mention this ad and get 1 month free service. Visit us at PestProRidol.com.
Tarzane Group. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Go to tarzanegroup.com or call Tomas at 305-440-0565. That's 305-440-0565 and order today. Visit Tomas and Yair at tarzanegroup.com. Micro, miniature, and small orchids. Beautiful in your home. Go to the website and read Tomas's orchid blog. And by Dina D Design. DinaDDesign@gmail.com. Fine artwork, custom made to your specifications, logos, wall hangings, Judaica, and you can even have something for your child's room. Dina D Designs. Go to her Facebook or Instagram or call or text. Thank you very much to our sponsors. If you'd like to become a sponsor, please go right up here to where it says patreon.com/theactorsrabbi, and you can contribute even only $1 a month if you'd like, but that'll help us bring this broadcast to you on a daily basis and cover our expenses. Be sure to thank your sponsors when shopping and mention Breakfast with Elli when you're shopping there. There might be discounts. Thanks for watching.
Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Tziva lanu Moshe.
All right. Excuse me. All right. Patreon.com/theactorsrabbi or breakfastwithelli.live/tipjar or breakfastwithelli.live /new menorah. That works too. All right. All right. We are up to our Parsha. All right. We are doing some interesting things here. We are talking about Mikeitz. The essence of exile is living under the control of some power that deprives us of the freedom to live our lives as Hashem would like us to. It's immaterial whether that power is political, social, psychological, whether we submit to it unwillingly or willingly, whether we're physically located in our native country or not. Whatever the case, exile is the mentality that we must constantly seek the approval or bend the will of an authority whose values are inimical to ours. Being in exile is thus the single most challenging obstacle to live up to our potential, fulfilling Hashem's will and following our life's true calling. As we have seen, when Yaakov saw that Esav was not ready to join forces with him on the divine mission of making a world into God's home, he realized that refining Esav's energy and passion would be a long, arduous, and gradual process. In the course of this process, there would be times when Esav's descendants would gain the upper hand, and Yaakov's descendants, individually or collectively, would find themselves in physical and spiritual exile. And in such times, it would be crucial for them to follow Yosef's example, to be able to thrive under adverse conditions and eventually even triumph over them. This ability to achieve great heights in the face of adversity, as exemplified by Yosef, is alluded to in the name of the Parsha, Mikeitz, which means at the end. The word for end here usually means the extreme, and thus alludes to how evil, the lower extreme on the moral continuum, should elicit our inner strength for good, the upper extreme of that continuum. Inasmuch as the two extremes of any process are its beginning and the end, the word Mikeitz not only alludes to the end of exile, whether Yosef's exile in prison or our personal and present general exiles, but also as to how this nexus itself becomes the beginning of the redemption. In the third Aliyah, Paro appointed Yosef as viceroy of Egypt and placed him in charge of the impending food collection operation. 30-year-old Yosef was placed second in command of the Egyptian empire, accountable to no one but Paro himself. Indeed, the 7 years of plenty arrived as foretold by Yosef, and Yosef skillfully oversaw the collection of the surplus grain. Yosef married Osnat, the daughter of Potipharah, and she bore him two sons, Menashe and Ephraim. Chumash and Rashi with Rabbi Avtson is next. All right. And that takes us to Parsha points. With Rabbi Epstein.
Parsha points Mikeitz for Tuesday. Paro renames Yosef Tzafnas Paneach, gives him what appears to be an Egyptian persona. Of course, Paro assumes that's the greatest honor he can grant to Yosef. Yet, Yosef is never again referred to as Tzafnas Paneach. His children are Menashe and Ephraim, because Yosef knows he's Yosef. He's on a mission from God. He's not Tzafnas Paneach. Save Egypt. Don't become Egyptian.
Simple and easy stuff. Don't you love it? All right. Shnayim Yomi.
Shalom ubracha and welcome back to the Gan Zoilim. We're holding Shlishi. Shlishi Parshas Mikeitz. Pari tells Yosef, wow, make a savings account. Wow. He's blown away. Your wisdom is unbelievable. And therefore, because of this amazing advice that you gave, you are now second in command. You're in charge of everything of the most powerful nation at the time. Unbelievable. The only thing that's higher than you is my throne. We see that in one day, Rabbi say, mark these words down. In one day, a person can be lifted from the pits of despair to the position of royalty. Pari takes off his ring and he gives it to Yosef. Clothing fit for a king, a chashav golden chain, a royal chariot. This is real covet, Rabbi say, real covet. And you know what he says? He says, nobody makes a move without you. Can I move my hand? Nope, don't move your hand. No, that's not what it means. It means that anything that goes on in Mitzrayim, any big things over here, has to be with your permission. Unbelievable. And he changes his name to Tzafnas Paneach. He gives him a wife who we know is Asnas. How old is Yosef at the time? Yosef is 30 years old at this point. The Torah mentions this. Why do we care how old he was? Okay, I'll leave that up to you also to look around. Yosef right away goes around. He gets a tour of the entire Mitzrayim, and he starts to work this thing that he was tasked to do. It's a big job over here. You have to save up food. We have to make a cheshbon, the numbers, and he starts to do that. And what happens? Obviously, we know the land, the 7 good years, the land starts producing a unbelievable amount of food during these 7 years, and Mitzrayim, under the leadership of Yosef, begins to prepare for the very hard time that are coming. During these 7 years, Yosef HaTzadik has 2 children, Menashe and Ephraim. Menashe, Ki Neshani, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu helped me forget all the pain, and Ephraim, that you made me fruitful in this land of suffering. And that is where the Aliyah ends. So on Sunday, we already mentioned that the idea of Yeshuas Hashem Kerev Ayin is something that has to be real to us. This can't be like Yeshuas Hashem Kerev Ayin. It has to be a real thing. That means that HaKadosh Baruch Hu could change anything. Could change anything. You know, we've been through a lot in the past while, and we have to remember that in 1 second, HaKadosh Baruch Hu could change anything. So never give up hope. It's very important for us to always remember never to give up hope. Remember that we're the children of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and no matter how hard it is, no matter what we're going through, even though that's also for our benefit, HaKadosh Baruch Hu could always change things. So Rabbi said, let's walk away and let's remember that just like Yosef from nothing became this tremendous, tremendous person, the same thing in our lives with our challenges, with our nesenis. Rabbi say, have a wonderful day.
All right. Rabbi Chaim Marder.
Boker Tov, good morning. We continue with a 3-minute daily dose of Torah. And yesterday we established that according to all the opinions, whether it's a mitzvah on the house or mitzvah on the individuals in the house, or mitzvah on the household, right? I say if it's a mitzvah on the house isn't going to light. You're going to have to, but the statement ultimately is that the households have to have it. That's really a better way to describe it anyway. Is that the menorah has to be lit in a place which is a habitation. So the interesting questions about, if you're traveling, and what do you do if you're traveling? So that's depends. Some would hold that if the whole discussion about whether you light on a boat or not, if you're journeying on a boat, and part of the question was that you don't do it, but maybe that's because there isn't a structure. If there's a structure, an enclosed structure, that would be sufficient. That would be called a habitation, and you would, or on a train. an overnight train where you have, and so the discussions were primarily in the in the sleeper cars. So that might also be a place where you would light, depending on whether you're allowed to. But what's clear is that when we light in shul, you're not fulfilling the mitzvah. You light in shul, which we do every night in Marav time. We do not fulfill the mitzvah of Ner Chanukah, and even if you're the one making the brachos, doing so, you have to, when you go home, you have to light candles too. So what you do is you're perhaps remembering what happened in the Beis Hamikdash now in the mini synagogue being a mini temple, or at least minimally a place where you can achieve Pirsomei Nisa, publicizing the miracle. So maybe you can make your brachas there. We do, but not elsewhere. If you light in the public square, you are not yotze. You're not fulfilling the mitzvah at all, and questionable whether you can make brachos in that place. The public square lightings, whether you can make the blessings on the menorah lighting. So what about a soldier? What does a soldier do? And so it's interesting. There are a lot of voices that are being heard now. Some from 50 years ago, in the Yom Kippur War. Some from where on the base. That's a separate conversation. A soldier in a tent lights at his tent, inside, outside, safety. Right, good. A soldier who's taken over a building somewhere in Gaza and is there, guarding from that building or doing something in that building. He lights in that building, as long as it's a safe place to be lighting in terms of drawing attention to yourself with any lights. And what about a soldier in a tank? So some poskim say you light in the tank, on the tank. Rav Asher Weiss thought it was crazy. It's dangerous. What are you doing lighting in a tank? Says you do light in a tank if you can. In the back of the tank, again, I've never been in a tank to know how much spacious it can be. But you light in the tank with a battery powered menorah. That's what he said to do. But Rav Asher Weiss didn't care much for the electric menorah, battery menorah. And felt that also it's not a place where you inhabit, even though you're stuck in there for a few days. If you have your druthers, you can get out of that tank as soon as you can. He just said it's not a makom migurim, it's not a place of habitation. And these are the questions that are being answered for soldiers right now. We'll talk a little more about why that's important tomorrow. Have a good day.
I don't know if that's how we actually poskin, but we'd have to see. I think the soldiers are lighting wherever they can possibly light in order to bring more light into the world. All right, here's Reb Zusha with some more about Chanukah.
That the Mefarshim ask, on the Medrash fall on the side.
The origin